Hi everybody, my name is Alicia Biscardi and this is my pros and cons speech for Communications 101. So what I'm going to be informing you guys on today is the matter of GMOs, the benefits and the disadvantages of GMOs. So I'm going to talk to you guys about what a GMO actually is, how it is made, and what foods you can find it in. And then I'm going to state the benefits and dangers of GMOs in our environment, for our own health, and in our food supply. So, according to the World Health Organization, they classify a GMO, and this is a quote that I got off of their actual website. They classify it as a genetically modified foods that are foods derived from organisms whose genetic material has been modified in a way that does not occur naturally through the introduction of a gene from a different organism. So basically what that is saying is that it's taking certain genes from another organism and putting it to another. And I'm going to describe the steps to you in a couple seconds. So the steps that they take, they'll isolate the one genetic characteristic that they want, or the trait, and they'll cut it out. And from there, they'll insert it into what they want. They usually put it into seeds or a newly fertilized egg. From there, the organism will then grow with that new gene. So as of today, there are at least 10 crops, genetically modified crops, that the U.S. has to offer, and that includes corn, potatoes, soybean, canola, cotton, alfalfa, sugar beets, papaya, squash, and apples. Another one that I'm going to talk about is salmon. So although salmon is not a crop, it is the first genetically modified organism to be put into our food supply. So now that I got through what a GMO is and how it is made, I'm going to then now go on to the benefits of GMOs. So I'm going to talk about the benefits in health. So GMOs are they're made for a more healthier and nutritional benefit to us humans who consume it. It contains certain vitamins that help decrease the risk of diseases or sicknesses. One of the most commonly known vitamins in GMOs is vitamin A. So vitamin A helps out with people who have vitamin A deficiency, which causes blindness or other sicknesses. So as of today, 2.7 million children suffer with vitamin A deficiency. So those GMOs definitely come in handy when it comes to that. So not only are they nutritional and help with certain deficiencies, but they also created better taste. Like, let's say peppers, they can make them more spicier, and corn, they can make more sweeter. Okay. So now I want to move on to the disadvantages of health. So even though they are good, they can also cause harm. Some of them can increase the risk of allergies. So one of the studies that showed was one with the soybean GMO. So most people who have allergies or soy allergies and eat soybean GMOs can contract, obviously they wouldn't if they're allergic, but if they have a high risk, it's usually found more in soybean. So let's say an animal eats the soybean GMO and then that human eats the animal who ate the soybean GMO. They have a higher risk, especially if they already have high-risk allergies, they most likely have an allergic reaction. So another one that I'm going to show is the one that was conducted by Dr. Orby. Dr. Orby conducted an experiment where he took two groups of rats and fed one GMOs and fed one just normal vegetables and a regular diet plan. So with the course of a couple of months, he noticed that the rats who were being fed natural foods with no GMOs were perfectly fine and healthy. But as for the rats who were being fed GMOs, had kidney and liver damages as well as toxins and irregular blood. So now that I mentioned the health, the benefits, and disadvantages, I want to move on to the environment. I'm going to talk about the benefits for the environment at first. So Monsanto states, which Monsanto is a company who usually produces most of the GMOs that we see today, they state that 20 years from now, Earth's population will need 55% more food than it can produce now. And they say that GMOs can meet this demand. They're a perfect tool to meet this demand. So I'm going to bring back to the salmon that I was talking about, the first genetically modified organism in our food supply, which is the salmon. Grows faster and larger, and this helps meet that food demand that us humans have. So with the GMOs, the plants and animals can become stronger and more abundant. It also helps crops improve against having to use more pesticides or herbicides, and allows farmers to have a lower input and increase plant growth. So basically what that means is that farmers don't have to keep plodding and working away at their fields all the day, because the GMOs are able to sustain a good health and growth and keep strong for a good amount of time. So now I'm going to move on to the environment disadvantages. So although the growth is good, it can also cause harm. For example, taking GMOs and planting them in a place that they usually would not grow, that plant would usually not grow, could upset the natural ecosystem. So basically, it creates toxins in our soil, and it can kill the soil bacteria, which is, you need that in order to grow plants without chemical fertilizers. So sometimes it's not that great, and it can cause damage to us as well. So the toxins in the soil will then kill the plant, and without the toxin residue, my apologies, can cause the soil to become dry and void all the nutrients to the plant, which would end up killing it. So now I'm going to enter into my conclusion. My purpose of the speech was to show you guys the benefits and the disadvantages of GMOs. And I hope now that you guys listened to my speech and heard all of it, the benefits and the non-benefits, that would make it easier for you in everyday life, whether it's going to the grocery store and picking out contents for your table that you may want to eat, or just knowing about GMOs in general. So thank you guys. I hope you enjoy my speech.